Why in the fuck is Sonic so hard to draw? As you can see here, I'm drawing the mysterious Sonic statue that was found in these Japanese mountains. I thought it'd be kind of cool to draw it because my style's kind of gross sometimes. I like to draw gross things, and the statue was so decrepit, I thought, ooh, that'd be cool. Anyway, I digress. I actually want to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog as a franchise and as a fan because, a movie is coming out, and I think, the movie, from what I've heard, is meant to introduce a new generation to Sonic the Hedgehog, which is, like, a very interesting concept to me. Which I'm not criticizing, like, it's not gonna be my source material, because that's stupid, and I know my love for Sonic as a fan is definitely rooted in nostalgia. It's a total nostalgia thing for me. So, I'm not gonna complain if they change things, because I just don't care enough. I love Sonic, but I don't know. They would have to do something stupid for me to care. And I know the redesign, which I have voiced my displeasure on in some ways, is one thing. But, I guess, I don't know. Is Sonic really off limits? If Sonic dabbed, would people be upset? I mean, I feel like he would do things like that. Because he's kind of a cheesy character. But, I kind of wanted to get into the fact that I've always liked Sonic, and I didn't realize how much I liked Sonic. My sister got the Sega Genesis for Christmas, and that was our first console. Our family console was the Sega Genesis. We didn't have anything prior to that, and it was a big deal. And I remember, I'm gonna give you a timestamp here. In 97, I was like 5, so this had to have been around 97. I remember us playing it. My sister and my brother, and me probably more like watching, they would play Sonic the Hedgehog. They would play Sonic 2, I think, and Sonic and Knuckles more, because they liked the fact that he could do Spin Dash. No, they didn't play it like a duo, like one was Tails and one was Sonic. It was like one gets to be Sonic and gets to kill Tails, and then one gets to be Sonic and kill Tails. Like, sorry for you Tail fans out there. You're Tail fans. Sorry for people who are fan of Tails. My siblings did not like him. They would trick him in the pink water and chemical plant zone, though. But anyway, it's my first experience playing a video game, and I think about how we played it as a family, and it was a different time in my life that is so weird. We always circle back to it. I did a few audio recordings of this, and I found that when I really talked about this detailed history of my love for the fucking franchise, I realized we always came back to the Sega, and we always came back to Sonic. So we had the Sega. Of course, when the Sega kind of fell off, things changed. But, before that, in my state, we had a Sega City, which was pretty sick. It was like a fucking arcade on top of a movie theater. And it was like, I don't know, it was really neat. My sister had a birthday there. And we also had Sega Channel, which was like, a broadcast channel where you could play video games. And I have no idea how that works. For the 90s, that's amazing. How they figured that out, I do not know. But we had things like that, And when Sega finally, was lagging behind in the great console wars, we kind of began to realize what was happening. Maybe the first sign was when my sister got Sonic 3D Blast, and it was not a good game. I actually asked her about this recently because I wanted to include it. She said the commercials all looked really awesome. She was stoked. Sonic was going to be in 3D. She was 11 years old. She was like, fuck yeah. She got it for her birthday, I think. And the game sucked. I don't know if you've ever played Sonic 3D Blast, but the controls are shit. The way he moves around is shit. The fucking honing in on enemies is awful. It's like he's on roller skates the whole fucking time. Mind you, that, we played that on the Sega Genesis, not the Saturn, so is the Saturn version really that much better? People say it is, but is it? Is it? And that was our first sign that the Sonic 3D Blast was not a good game. Then Sega Channel one day was just not on the air. And then Sega City closed down, and we were like, whoa, Sega City's closing down? And it did. And then finally we see what the Dreamcast is going to be like, and we see a new Sonic game, and my siblings tapped out. They were like, this doesn't look like Sonic. By the time the Dreamcast was out, I didn't really care. I don't know, I was a 7-year-old kid, but I think it's so weird that I grew up with this mascot that I've grown accustomed to and I associated with these good memories, but then, you know, he kind of just disappeared for a while. You know, okay, let me say this. I say we didn't own a Dreamcast, but I'm pretty sure my stepdad did this thing where he would buy a gaming console and then pawn it, and then buy it and then pawn it. And I'm pretty sure for like a week we had a Dreamcast. I think. I don't think we had Sonic on it, but I'm pretty sure we had a Dreamcast for a very short amount of time. We for sure had a PlayStation 1 for a very short amount of time, because I played Spyro in my living room, and then never again, then it was gone. Where's Spyro? Oh, like, I mean, that's how it was. You know, my brother got the N64, my sister was done with gaming, she wasn't interested anymore, things were changing, you know, they played Tony Hawk's Skate Park, you know, it was a different time. But I, on the other hand, I think I still cared, because I remember my mom got me the Sonic the Hedgehog Bubble Bath, which had a little built-in game, like, you could press these little rubber buttons and it would move the rings. I loved it when McDonald's did those little miniature Sonic things. You know, those little handheld games that were kind of shitty. It was like Sonic jumping over hurdles, and I think maybe Shadow threw a football? Would he do that? I feel like there was 2 sets. I think there was one that was not sports related, and then later they did it again and it was sports related. But I'm not 100%. Maybe I'm making shit up. And, you know, I got excited for those. I got to play Sonic on the GameCube once. My cousin Nikki had a GameCube, and it was exciting. And he was like, want to play Sonic? And I was like, whoa, really? You know, because I hadn't played it since the fucking late 90s. And it was like 2001 at this point. And he was like, yeah, and, you know, he boots it up, and the GameCube logo comes on. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy, you know. We had an N64. We also had a PS2, which came and went. You know, the whole pawning thing. Anyway, he puts on 2-player, which is like a battle royale mode. I don't know which Sonic game it was. I have no idea. I just know you could fight each other, like in robots or something. And I was so stunned by the fact that you could be Robotnik. To me, that was like so weird. Like, whoa, you could be Robotnik? You could be the bad guy? And I don't know, it's so strange because like my last time I interacted with Sonic was on a shitty McDonald's handheld. Or when we played it in the late 90s, because our Sega went missing. And that was, you know, my few interactions. And then, 2004, Sega came out with this plug-and-play thing where you could play, like, 6 Sega games. You know, and plug-and-play games weren't big yet. They weren't, like, everywhere yet. So it was like, whoa, we could play Sega in the year 2004 by just plugging in these AV jacks? What a concept! My mom and my sister and my brother, we were actually all really excited to get it. It had Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one. It had Flicky. It had Kid Chameleon. It had Mean Bean Machine. It had Golden Axe. What the fuck else did it have? Am I only listing like 5 games? I feel like I'm forgetting what other game was on it. My siblings were disappointed because they never cared for the first Sonic because, again, he couldn't do Spin Dash in that one. But they still played it, and it was like the 3 of us came together again, like we did in 1997. And I hold that kind of close to my heart a little bit. I was really bad at it, like playing Sonic the Hedgehog. I really fucking sucked. Of course I was better than maybe when I was 5, but I was awful at the game, and my siblings were like, whoa, you can't even get past Green Hill Zone, you suck. Here's the thing, I had a lot of free time, so I really mastered Green Hill Zone. I could fucking kill it at Green Hill Zone. I could get the 100 rings. I can get the life box. Chemical Plant Zone. Another story. I remember I brought in that plug-and-play console to my, like, cousin's house. Different cousin. And I was like, wanna play some Sonic? And she was like, I guess. I was like, watch me. And I was really good at Green Hill Zone. But then when I got to Chemical Plant Zone, I didn't want to do it because I knew the pink water was lurking. So I just make Sonic do a little dance on the thumb pad, because, like, Chemical Plant Zone is such a catchy fucking tune. It's like, okay, I fucked it up. But anyway, like, I just used to make Sonic dance to it, and I thought it was so funny. We also played Mean Bean Machine. One time, me and my sister stayed up late trying to beat Mean Bean Machine. We got, when I say beat, get past the second robot. The first robot was pretty easy, but the purple robot, fuck that guy. He was hard as shit. And he was a dick. I remember one time I used to fuck around with the password codes. Like, I was like, I bet I could crack this, and I did, and I got to the last level, and I was like, yeah, I'm good at cracking codes, but that's, you know, I couldn't beat the last bad guy anyway, so I don't know what I got from that. Eventually the plug-and-play console, as you'd imagine, got boring, and I don't know what happened to it, went missing too. Finally we got a GameCube, and the GameCube was bomb because you could get the Sonic Collection, which I was all about. And finally, I got to play a lot of Sonic games I had never gotten to play before. You know, I got to play the basics, right? The ones that, you know, I played growing up. But Sonic CD was a game I never got to play, because we didn't have, like, the CD add-on for the Sega Genesis. I got to unlock the music video, and I used to listen to it all the time. You know, the animation's all soft and pretty, and I really liked it. And I would play, you know, all those games. I would play Green Hill Zone, because I was fucking really good at that and nothing else. Or Sonic the Fighters, ironically. Like, this game's bad. Or Sonic the Racers, or they're racing, or whatever. You know, not the one where they're driving. That's Sonic Drift, I think. The one where they're, like, running, and it's awkward and terrible. I hate that one. I remember I played that for a very long time. And then some time passed, and, I don't know, I think of other interactions I've had with it. Like, for instance, my mom used to take me to Hastings to get comics, and she was like, pick out a comic, and one time I picked out a Sonic comic, and I picked it out in the middle of a story. Where would you find the other fucking issues? Like, who had the fucking time for that when they were 12 and only had, like, $6? In the story, there's an evil Sonic, and actually I watched a Robo Buddies video about all the Archie Sonic characters, but there's an evil Sonic who wears sunglasses and a leather jacket, and he's not Sonic, and I remember I used to find it so funny. He got the rabbit with the fucking robot arm and made out with her, and then, like, Tails watched him from afar, and was like, and he was like, get out of here, pipsqueak! You, like, bullied Tails! And I shouldn't laugh, but, like, I feel like people are gonna tell me what's my problem with Tails. I have no problem, it's kind of funny that he was just a dick. You know? And I didn't understand why Tails cared. I guess because Sonic was with Sally, whatever her name, Princess Sally. You want to know something weird? This is so irrelevant. There's a Muppet comic with the same exact plot before that Muppet movie came out. There's like an evil Kermit that wears sunglasses and a leather jacket and takes Kermit's place. Look it up, it's fucking strange. You know, I read the Sonic comics more than I realize now. Like, I remember Dr. Robotnik had like an emo daughter. And then, like, the robot Sonic was Sonic's dad. And again, Robo Buddies addressed this, but it's not Sonic's dad. Or Robot Sonic, you know, Evil Sonic, Mecha Sonic. Ah, I know his name. Metal Sonic. Is it Metal Sonic? Yeah, I guess it's not the same. I was kind of confused because I always knew Metal Sonic to be bad. Especially because I used to watch the music video on the fucking GameCube a lot where he's, like, fucking him up. But then, like, here he is, like, hey, son, you know, it's me. I'm with your mom. It's, like, weird to me. I don't understand it. Sonic Mania came out. My sister hasn't played games in a very long time. She doesn't really care to play games. But when Sonic Mania came out, that's probably the most recent game she's played. And she played it just like she did back in 1997. Totally absorbed. Really into it. And she thought it was amazing that they did it. What can I say except that, you know, here I am, I watch these videos about some random statue of Sonic. And I just kind of realized, you know, I really... It's so weird because there was a long time where I didn't play it, and the most I played were the original games that came out. But I still care about it, and I still love it, and I'm still interested in it. But, you know, I think what was really important about Sonic to me was that it brought me and my 3 siblings together. In a way that I just don't think we bond anymore, and haven't. Yeah. Didn't know I was a Sonic fan. What about you guys? Was there ever, like, a childhood mascot or video game character or, you know, something that stuck around for your entire life and you still find yourself attached to? Why don't you answer me in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe. Sorry, I'm doing this stupid YouTube plug. And, actually, please vote for the next video's topic. I do this every other Thursday, and it would be nice if you guys could vote. Also want to say thanks to Glitch X City for letting people use his Sonic remixes for free. Check him out, he's in the description below. Thanks!